this whole social media thing as a whole is counterintuitive. It is an oxymoron to this whole journey that I'm on. It doesn't really make much sense. So today I want to talk about authenticity. I want to talk about social media and how it relates to spirituality and specifically my journey in my recovery and specifically my spirituality journey. Because honestly, I'm having a hard time making sense of it all. And this is why. Because when you're on, or when I'm on, I'll speak for myself only, my journey has consisted of this growth, internal growth, right? And I talked a million times before about how I don't have any of the material things yet. I don't have the things on the outside to match the peace and the spiritual connection that I've created on the inside. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. Divine timing is real. So my journey has consisted mostly of becoming more and more authentically me, right? Letting go of other people's opinions of me, finding home within myself, finding peace within myself, letting go of the need for any kind of validation from any outside source, learning that anything and everything that I ever will need or do need in this moment today, tomorrow, and whenever to come, I can always find within myself. And this recovery journey and changing my mindset and doing the work that I've done has unlocked this spiritual connection inside of me that I didn't even see coming. It was like a byproduct of the shit that I've been working on. Because it's so connected, this journey and healing, for me it was at least, it's so fucking connected. When I was working on changing my mindset and realizing that everything is fucking connected, that all we are is energy, and everything we do comes back to us. Karma is real. Realizing how connected we are to everything, I kind of unknowingly and surprisingly built this connection outside of myself to something greater, right? And I plan on doing a whole separate video on this alone. But specifically in terms of what I'm doing here and what I'm trying to do here on social media and spread awareness and spread hope and help you and anyone who is struggling or needs some hope, it kind of doesn't make sense sometimes. You know, that's one thing. It's kind of a flex of mine, is that I'm rarely on my phone. The only time I'm ever on social media really is to post. And then maybe I spend maybe a half an hour trying to get inspired by other posts and what I see and some trending shit and what's going around and all the things. And then I post, and for the most part, I log off. And occasionally throughout the day, I check my accounts, but I very rarely am doom scrolling. Sometimes at night, though, I find myself, because let me tell you, this whole social media thing, my attention span is wrecked. I mean, I do have ADHD, but if you know me, you know I don't use excuses for things. Like, that's a whole other story. Whole other story. I don't use my diagnoses. I try not to use my diagnoses to define me or as excuses to validate my indecision or my toxic behaviors. Let's put it that way. So in me posting throughout this journey of mine, it has felt so weird because as I have grown into myself and become more authentically me, and I don't need any outside validation. I'm not doing this for outside validation. And it makes me laugh when people think that I am. Because it feels weird to show up and to put myself on camera and to perform. I mean, let's be honest. Instagram, TikTok, even shorts on here, trending audios, there is like, it's 80% performing. Like you have to perform in the camera for the audience. right? It gives me the ick a lot of times. And the recovery channels, or the recovery, not channels, but pages, let's say on Instagram or TikTok that I follow, a lot of times I will unfollow you if you give me the ick. I will unfollow you if you and your actions are proving to me time and time again that your self-esteem sucks. Because I feel like I can tell. I can tell through your actions, I can tell with your energy, I can tell by what you're posting, and the things that you value are not aligning with what you're saying you value in your recovery journey or in your spirituality. If you're posting thirst traps, or if you're posting, I mean, my brain gets the ick. And I'm like, girl, you are so full of yourself. I get the ick. Like, how can you sit there and preach recovery and spirituality and healing while at the same time posting consistently on social media strictly for validation? I mean, it's one thing, I suppose, to, doing videos like this, but the whole idea of social media and spirituality just don't mix. I mean, if you're really in a spiritual journey, like I'm in a spiritual journey, it just doesn't fucking make sense. It's like oil and water. Because for me, I like my privacy. I don't like showing off anything, right? But this is totally different for me. Like me back then, 5, or let's say 6, 8, definitely 10 years ago, I was constantly taking pictures of myself. Like constantly. I was junked out, looked like shit, trying to keep everything looking okay on the outside. And I was literally constantly taking fucking pictures of myself because I was using social media back then, like Snapchat mainly, to create an entirely different reality for myself, a reality where my misery didn't exist. So if I could take a picture of myself and look cute and post that to the world, then it was a huge way, a big way of me manipulating myself and others to say everything was fine, right? Oh, I look cute in this photo, so how could my life be burning up in flames? Make it make sense. But I get that vibe from a lot of people, and I will unfollow you on social media if I get that vibe from you. Because, especially if you're posting this kind of content, I want to know that you're walking the walk, right? If you're if you're talking about healing and finding yourself in authenticity and not needing validation and finding spirituality and recovery and living authentically, while I'm seeing you posting like solely for validation, because I feel like, I mean, for me, I can read energy. Like, I almost wish I couldn't, but I can read the room. I can read energy from a text message, from a picture, from an Instagram post. I can read the energy. Let me put it this way. If you are truly valuing the numbers, the likes, the clicks, the validation that you're getting in the comments, like I can tell. And when you're really on this spiritual journey and healing, you're not supposed to care about those things, right? I mean, I'm not asking, I'm saying that. Because that's been I mean, I get it. Everybody's journey is different, but it just is weird to me. Spirituality and social media are not, I don't think, I don't know. I don't know. It just feels weird. So I've been thinking a lot about this channel and making content, trying to figure out how or what I can do, what the fuck to do videos on. And to be honest, I stress myself out over it. Honestly, I've been struggling staying consistent on this YouTube channel, and I know why. I know why. Because I feel like I have to perform. Making any kind of video where you're on camera, there is always going to be a degree of a performance that's needed, right? I don't want to have to perform. And I feel like when I was doing the audio only podcasts, it felt more personal. It felt like I didn't have to turn myself on. When I do these videos, I feel like I have to turn myself on to a degree, and I have to perform, and I have to be inspirational, and I have to be educational, and I have to always have something inspiring to say. And to be honest, most times, a lot of time, oh God, she's so fucking cute. Oh, baby. To be honest, most times, I don't fucking feel like being inspirational, right? And if I'm going through shit where, I've been going through some shit where I'm just stressed out, it's nothing, it's luxury problems, and feeling overwhelmed while simultaneously kind of beating myself up about not staying consistent on this channel when I am trying, and to be honest, not that hard. I'm not trying that hard to get monetized. I just reached 6,000 subscribers on here. Thank you so fucking much. That is wild. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. But I'm still so fucking far from being any kind of monetized. You have to reach 4,000 watch time hours, and it only counts long form video, by the way. My shorts have been I've been knocking it out of the park when it comes to shorts. My views are high, super high on my shorts, but those views don't count when it comes to getting monetized. And it's been interesting. It's been interesting. And I've said this so many times, I didn't think it was going to be this hard. I honestly, I didn't really research as much, but I've been thinking so much about why I'm struggling to consistently make videos when literally, like, all I want to do is focus on this channel. And all I want to do is give back. And all I want to do is show up as myself. And all I want to do is be personal. But what holds me back a lot of times is feeling like I have to perform and feeling like I have to be inspirational. Now, I know it's difficult because anytime you have a camera in your face, it's hard to turn off that consciousness, that self-consciousness, right? People who are overly self-conscious on camera, that drives me fucking wild. It drives me insane when people are constantly checking themselves and fixing their hair and doing these things. The people that I watch on social media, and they're constantly like just checking themselves in the camera. It drives me fucking bananas. So it's been difficult for me to consistently make these videos simply because I don't want to perform anymore. So I'm going to try my best to show up and make it more personal like this and talk about things like this. And similarly to what my podcast was. It was strictly audio, and I felt like I could be more personal maybe because there was not a camera in my face. So I'm going to try to go back to that. I'm challenging myself to show up in a more personal way. So like and subscribe and do all the things. I love you. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Ideally, I'd be sitting back there. I want to be chilling with my pillows and my coffee in my hand, sitting back and relaxing. This is the only place I can really be. Hi. 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 Hi.